Whether you're trying to grow your business or get the word out about your mission, growing a following is a great way to make a massive impact. And I just got done reading this book, 1 Million Followers by Kane. Can I share why I decided to read this book? It's because I wanted to learn how to grow my own personal following. I currently have 17 amazing people on my email list. And later in this video, I'm going to show you how I got those initial 17 people. And then I'm also going to show you my plan from going from where I currently am at 17 people to 1 million people on my email list. All right, let's get started. Now, the first key takeaway from this book is to embrace challenges as opportunities. To be fully transparent, I feel like quitting almost every week, sometimes multiple times a week. But because I've done the work to get my mindset into the proper place, I don't quit. Now, that's a quote from page 23 in the book. Now, embracing challenges as opportunities is really about seeing each hurdle as the chance and opportunity to grow. Start small and then keep pushing. And somewhat unfortunately, the path to success is paved with lots of trials. And really the only way that we can thrive is if we overcome them. And Kane is teaching us to think of each challenge not as a setback, but as a stepping stone to where we're trying to go. And really, this is a major shift in how we view our journey. And we end up learning a lot more from the hard times than we do from the easy times. And every time that we face challenges, we're really building up that resilience. And resilience turns potential failures into lessons themselves. And overcoming these problems and these challenges really shows us where our strengths lie and where our weaknesses are. And it ultimately prepares us for the future obstacles that we're going to be facing. So when a challenge appears, let's go ahead and tackle it head on. Now, the next key takeaway from this book is that building a following takes time. Building your following takes time, effort, and money, but think about the ROI. Think about the validation and the credibility that will be coming your way. And that comes from page 107 in the book. And Brandon is telling us that building a following is really a journey and it's not a sprint. It requires persistence, patience, and ultimately a bit of strategy as well. We all start from zero and then we end up just taking one step at a time until we get to where we're trying to go. And each follower is a step toward a larger community. But this process takes time. I don't know about you, but I don't really like things that take too much time. And quick growth might sound appealing, but it is that sustainable growth that is going to ensure that we last a long time. And so he's basically telling us that it's going to take time to build a following, and that's okay. And this is really important for adjusting our mindset and our strategies as we go into this long-term investment of growing a following. He also says that consistency is our best tool. We should be doing regular communications, fairly frequent updates, and really just kind of staying steady at the pace that we're doing. And because when we do that, we end up showing that we're committed and that we're also reliable to follow through on this. And when we do this, we show that we're ultimately committed to putting out, information and whatever it is that we believe in. And it also shows that we are reliable. And when we do that consistently over time, it ends up building us a loyal following. Now, Kane also tells us that we need to stay patient. He says that follower numbers, they might plateau at times, like we might have seasons of growth, seasons of shrinkage, and that's how it's supposed to be. And when we go through those phases, he's urging us to stay committed to the process, keep moving forward, and to not jump ship. He also tells us that everyone starts small. And successful brands, they invest and spend a lot of time into their growth and their success. And the last takeaway from the book is about the mindset for success. Now, I'm sure you've picked this up from some of the books that we've been reading, but the most successful people make managing their mindset a priority. With the right mindset, we begin to start actually believing in ourselves. And honestly, doubt is natural, but overcoming it, that's actually what the key is. And I know we all hate failures, but failures, they teach us something. It's from these lessons that we actually end up growing stronger and better than we had before. Now, ultimately, our mindset is what shapes our reality. What we believe, we really can achieve. And so try to consider keeping a positive mindset even when things are going hard, because if you can keep that positive mindset, things will naturally go a bit better than they would if you had a negative mindset. And it really comes down to the attitude that we bring to the table each day. And why does mindset matter that much? Or why does our attitude matter that much? Well, it's because it's going to spill over into the work and the things that we're doing. And people are going to notice that. And believe it or not, but just even thinking about and imagining being successful, that naturally is going to lead us to becoming more successful in and of itself. And this mental practice, it actually ends up boosting both our drive and our focus as well. And really over time, as we're trying to create these little mindset tricks into daily habits that we're doing on a consistent basis, they're going to end up becoming second nature. So seeking out new knowledge and consistently working on making those improvements and adjustments are going to be key to succeeding. And I think having a solid why, as into why you do what you do on a daily basis, is going to be super important. And I'm excited because there's going to be a book review that I'll be releasing soon called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And that one is going to talk about this a lot more. So if you're kind of wondering like, what is my purpose? Am I doing the right things in life? I feel like this is like one of those books that is going to be a cornerstone one for understanding why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And I think it'll help give you a sense of purpose and potentially a sense of direction as well. But understanding and knowing our why is going to help make things more clear. So it's going to provide that clarity that everyone seeks. And then it's also going to help you with motivation and keeping going, especially when the times get hard. And Brendan Kane is also telling us that we need to celebrate every single win, no matter how big and no matter how small. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my email list, and my goal is to get it to 1 million. My actual real goal was to get it to 10,000. But I've increased it just because why not? It's all about having goals that are relevant to what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish. But I recently started my email list, and I started it with 0 people. And as of right now, I currently have 17 people on my email list. But here's what's crazy. It's all just like my friends and family. So I actually have a ton of fun putting together the little articles that I'm writing, the little videos, and then writing up a small email each day that really just gives out as much value as I can in like a 50-word email. So my very first goal was to get to 1 person. And I did this with a simple text message. Hey, do you want to join my book of the day email that I'm putting out? Yes? Okay, boom. Mission accomplished. However, my next goal was to get to 10 people. And so I did the same exact thing. I texted, I called, and I reached out to really just my closest friends and family. And I said, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm kind of testing it out. I'd love to put you on it. Are you okay with that? And of course, a bunch of people said, yeah, and we're good to go. And so now that I've hit 10 people, like I said, I already have 17. My next goal is, again, not to get to 1 million, but it's to get to 100. And then after I get to 100, then my next goal is going to be to get to 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, and ultimately all the way to 1 million. And I think that this is a great way to go when you have a goal for really getting anything done, because the idea is to really just start small, celebrate your wins along the way, and just don't worry about the big milestone that you're trying to hit. Just focus on the one. Can you imagine if I was just sitting here thinking, I got to do something that's going to get me to 1 million? No, I don't need to worry about that right now. I already accomplished my first 2 goals, which is to get to 1 and to 10. Now I need to focus on what is it going to take for me to get to 100, right? And then once I pass that milestone, what will I need to do to get to 1,000? Because the reality is that what it takes to go from 1 to 10 and 10 to 100 is radically different than what it's going to take for me to go from 100,000 to 1 million. It's just going to take a different strategy and approach. And so we have to be willing to adapt and adjust our strategy along the way. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.